If you're watching this video when it comes out, it's Valentine's Day. For someone who doesn't feel any romantic attraction like I do, Valentine's Day is like Halloween 2, or Halloween 3 if you count Christmas, or Halloween 1 if you... The point is, I personally do not feel any romantic attraction. But my characters do. I've invested more time thinking about my characters' relationships than I really thought I would. Which is okay, because it's kind of interesting, with all the different relationship dynamics and stuff. I'm still new to the whole relationship writing thing, so I don't have many of them. But here's 3 of them, for Valentine's Day. You didn't see it, but when I said the word 3, I held up the number 2. Let's start with 2 pretty familiar faces. My Redesigning Old C series is my most popular series by far, so I feel like regular viewers might recognize them. To recap the plot from last time though, and even add upon it a little, Cleo comes from this utopian urban area town thing I actually haven't decided because I haven't thought about it, and decides to run away. I wonder why. Hannah has been living in the forest next to this area for a while, and might have also originally come from the same area as Cleo does. And, as you figured out from the entire theming of this video, they kind of fall in love, eventually. Admittedly, I haven't developed them much, but when I imagine them together, I kind of think of it as an enemies but not quite enemies to lovers plot. At the beginning, they're not quite enemies, they just do not trust each other with anything. I don't think I've had a story with love as a driving force before, mostly because if love is the only reason something happens, I do not care. However, I feel like if I can mix this gay plot, it says women loving women in the script, but it's just gay. With this running away plot, I can make something interesting. I make quite a lot of running away plots and amnesia plots. Does this say something about me? This drawing was kind of supposed to be like a second encounter since the first drawing was a first encounter, but honestly, this is probably more than just a second encounter. In the end, I imagine this more as a 4th or 5th encounter, and she's trying to run away for real, and she's asking for help with that. At this point, trust has been gained, so I would assume that she would get help with that, whatever she needed. The thing with these OCs is, I like them, but they're not at the top of my priority list for character development right now. I counted the number of OCs I have, and it's over 30 at this point, and every single one of them has some sort of story. If you're curious on what is in that list, first is Unwilling Ocean Explorer because it is my current webcomic plot. Next is a group of Magical Girl OCs you'll be seeing later in this video. That will get a video or 2 of their own soon, because I'm obsessed with them right now. Then will be the plot with Aurora and her friends, then maybe a redraw of Runaway Royale's first page, etc, etc. The point is, Hannah and Cleo are not a part of any major plot at the moment, so they're stuck in concepting until I get around to them. But I mean, you're free to think about them if you want. This also probably will be the last time I talk about them either. There's probably some video prompts out there that could fit them, I think. Also, funny story, I had to zoom in the sketch a little because I realized that one of the other drawings in this video looked way too similar to it in terms of like where one character is placed and where the other character is placed. So zooming it in fixed my problem. Characters, number 2. Couple 2? I don't even. This couple is probably the couple that has been canon for the longest, ever since I thought up of them really. It was like that for all of them I'm going to talk about, but they've just been around the longest. Which is wild to me, because I only really thought of the characters themselves like 2 years ago, which sounds old, but in the grand scheme of their specific story, is pretty young. They come from a story I call Runaway Royale. You'll never guess what the inciting incident is. Runa and Haley are 2 vampires running a rebellion against this world's monarchy. I haven't fleshed out everything entirely about it, but that is not important right now, because all you need to know right now is that these people do not like the monarchy. So, when the crown prince accidentally runs into you and says, "Hey, I'm running away, and I need some place to hide. Also, I'm a girl now," it leads to quite an interesting situation. But that's also not the point, because it's Valentine's Day, and we're talking about the couple right now. More about the actual drawing, they're just walking around, being all happy and stuff because it's Valentine's Day, and this is the first year that Rosemary is also here too. Now Rosemary, being the sheltered princess she is, does not know what gay people are. The education system over there never bothered to tell her, because they never thought it would be irrelevant, I guess. But now it is, and now Runa has to teach Rosemary what gay people are while Haley watches. Also, I want you to notice that I got Haley's old design back. Also, Haley has a name now. Did I forget to mention that? Oops. But last time, I forgot about her old design until it was too late, and the old design was undoubtedly better, and also the new design only existed because I forgot what her old design was, and it got out of hand, because how did that happen? So I said I was going to stick with that one, and I did. So here that is taking me until writing this point in the script, that I haven't really thought of them being together much recently. Whenever I do think about them, I think, oh, they're together, that's nice, that's cool, let's see how Rosemary's doing, and that's the end of it. I may think about them interacting more in the future. Overall, they are a pretty good couple, and they do a lot of stuff together. They are walking around, and that is nice. Penelope and Alana are two of my magical girlies from the story I have named Magical Girl City. You'll never guess where this story takes place, but you saw them in the Inktober video. It was kind of a bad first impression because I hadn't really designed them fully. I only had like a vague vision in my mind, and they've kind of changed a lot since then as well, and I hadn't really designed them fully. Especially not the transformed version. I'm actually currently working on that, and it'll be out within the next couple of weeks. For now though, I definitely know what the untransformed version of Penelope and Alana looks like. For reference, Alana is on the left, and Penelope is on the right. It's a cute little Valentine scene where Alana confesses to Penelope. I feel like in canon Penelope would confess to Alana, but come on, this is cute, let me have this. I'm pretty sure no one is complaining, because no one knows who they are. This was a drawing that was very similar to the first sketch of the first drawing, by the way. Were you thinking it looked as similar as I thought it was? Maybe, maybe not. I just wanted some variety here. Unlike the other two couples, I have thought about these two in depth. Remember when I said I had a group of characters I was obsessed with? Yeah, them. I have an outline in my head about the beginning of this entire story, and I have the general gist on how they get together. It's more about how they interact with each other, really. I have a timeline in my head, and I wrote it down on the script, so now I'm reading it out. It would most likely start with Alana helping Penelope with a homework or a project. This is how they meet. They probably get sat together in class or something, and then they bond over that. Based on the timeline in my head, I know that Alana's the third person who joins the Magical Girl team, after Penelope and Rue, her childhood friend. So she would probably be invited after all the bonding stuff, but before the confession. Also, at this point, it might be one-sided. Alana too busy with schoolwork to actually notice yet. Eventually she does notice, and they confess, and all that good stuff. If we assume this drawing is canon, then it would be after they get together, and it's one cold Valentine's Day. I can't tell if it would be morning or night, but they would give each other a Valentine's Day surprise. Yippee! What a happy surprise. Not much else to say, to be honest. But, while I'm being honest, I used a Pinterest photo for the background, because I was really struggling with that. I'm sure almost everyone has seen/realized I used a photo by now. I'm just kind of admitting it, to just not get comments about it. Shout out to the non-attraction havers. I didn't really want to focus exclusively on couples, I guess. I mean, that's the point of the video. But let me have this. So I just wanted to shout out my non-romantic attraction havers over here. As stated earlier, I don't feel any romantic attraction. That's why I'm here. That being said, I have fewer OCs that feel the same way than I thought I would have. Most of my other characters are just like, single and not thinking about it. The reason I'm here is already explained, but in my head, both Rue and June are aromantic asexual, and Elle is unlabeled but never has any kind of romantic attraction. Like, it's kind of different, kind of the same thing. If that makes sense, yeah. I don't have much to talk about in this section, which is kind of a bad thing to admit, but I keep talking anyways because I really like the way I drew Rue in this drawing, which is the childhood best friend of Penelope. I should probably mention what stories they're from. Rue, left, Elle, right, but not me, are from that Magical Girl story from earlier. You probably know this, but I never showed their untransformed version, so most likely you don't. And then June, you're probably familiar with all of these characters if you saw my October video, but June is also shown for the first time in there, and she's like a wished girly. Yeah, thumbs up emoji. And like I said, I really like the way I drew Rue in that. Just so silly, so funny. And I definitely have this drawing finished by the time I'm recording this. That's it for this video. Hope you like it. I should have the Draw This in Your Style results out by now. I'm only saying this in the script to remind myself and hold myself accountable. Every morning I wake up and tell myself I'm gonna do it, and then I don't. Because the thing is, I already have the winners in my head. But I've never said it. I've never released it. And that makes me feel bad because it's been over a month. Oops. Alright, unwanted rant and ramble. That should be enough for the video. There is no outro. Bye.